Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about one topic, city creation. So it's very dangerous topic, that is city creation. It seems to be very easy, very smooth, but it's very dangerous topic, that is city creation. That only basically is the IITs, IIM groups and the IAS group basically who are sitting in the big level office, basically the government office, the parliament office, bigly educated people basically, and practically seen people basically only can able to do. So one of the person told that yes, basically they group, the group basically are in the red batti car basically. So one person told that yes, basically. So one of the person told that basically the person basically the software industry basically they can't sit for 2 to 3 hours also basically, right? Now basically they can sit for at least for 7 to 8 hours. Then into that yes, basically they can basically easy to sit, but too much basically burden basically you can't give to the software buildings basically, because it might possible. I will tell you exactly basically. If you are sitting basically for 24 hours basically, it might possible that the building might also basically get crash basically. Lots of people says that basically that is not possible. If you want to experiment basically, you can experiment this. This basically might be possible basically in future basically. That's why basically the software company basically has totally shut down the company basically, and then basically they are coming periodically 2 hours, 3 hours, sometime 8 hours, sometime 10 hours, sometime 15 hours, sometime 20 hours basically. But they are basically closing the company basically at least basically 2 3 times basically in the month basically. Previously it was not like that. Reason, the glacier basically was not giving problem to the world basically. Nowadays basically the glacier is giving problem, and glacier basically is getting break also. So same with the, if the glacier basically is getting break, then buildings basically are easily basically going to get break basically one day. If the ideas basically are, one of the person told that basically are, you told basically right, ideas basically chain gets generate idea basically on the base of the ideas basically the building basically energy gets generates, and the power supply collects the data. So one of the person told that which kind of data basically the power supply collects and which kind of data basically the power supply does not collect. That was basically the interesting question basically, because in software company lots of masti also happens, lots of jashan happens. Sometimes they also do the dance also. Sometimes they sometimes basically they do personal talks, like each and every talks basically happens. Then they told that yes basically. So one of the person told that here basically the human energy basically are taken basically, or only the software energies are taken. Then he told that for example you are doing programming this that basically that only basically data are taken. Then he told that that possibilities basically are there, that data only basically might be taken, or possibilities are there also basically that the another data also basically might be taken. Then he told that basically that means the mixed data basically are getting generated in the software company environment basically. Then he told that yes basically, and which basically is not getting out basically, right? Basically, then he told that yes basically it's covered with the buildings basically, and it's not getting out also basically, because it's air conditioned fully basically, and due to air condition basically the building has to be completely um, there should not be a single hole also basically. It should be, we can give this word as a completely covered office basically, without any single hole. Otherwise basically the AC will get out. That means one of the person told that basically the AC basically group basically, or basically the power company basically, they might be taking the data basically of each and every employees also basically. That also possibilities are there. Reason basically I will tell you, the software company like Microsoft and the group basically they say that basically they basically do the testing of their product basically from their employees only basically. When the products is getting created, for example this many product, for example I will take one example. There are 10 phases, or basically assume that basically there are 20 phases. 5 phase project basically is completed. So that means person's energy basically they take, and they checks basically how basically the creation has happened basically of that particular Microsoft products blood cells. Then they basically say that basically if the things basically is okay, then basically so okay basically, otherwise we will do the give the change request of the product basically. Then he told that okay. If not giving, then basically other process. Like this, basically the Microsoft group and the other group, the big company only basically can do this type of checking basically, because they are only creating the big level of products. Basically. The small companies like the company basically who just is aware about the product creation only basically, and the customer should handle the product. That's all basically. That company basically will not do up to the level checking basically. But the Microsoft corporation, the SAP corporation, and the PHP corporation, this all company basically they keeps on doing the data basically. They keeps on checking each and every stuff basically. So like this things. The reason is this data basically. Whenever you create the product basically, the data basically keeps on doing the process, and data if keeps on doing process, then the disease also basically will get generated basically from that process. And if it's disease is generating, then basically medicine is also required. So for that basically this count is getting generated from where basically? It's generated from the lady's body, it's generating from the male body, or it's generating from the other's body. So one person told that yes basically, yeah. This actually is the question basically. And that basically mostly basically software company basically that is basically connected with the nuclear power company, they might be 100% having. The reason this is the base basically. And on the base of this only this has created basically. And few due to some climate change, then the global warming basically, software company basically and are not able to sit for at least for 2 to 3 hours also basically. And that problem basically most of thing basically has solved basically. And now basically this is also basically mostly get refreshed basically. That also told by the Microsoft group basically. So one of the person told that basically. If that is done basically, then this everything basically also might be done. These, 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 this equal to comes to this also basically, that is this everything basically. Then he told that basically if this everything is so complicated, then why don't you create one system basically? Then he told that yes basically, yeah, we should create one system just now basically, which whatever things basically I told basically, that was the requirement basically. So that required one system basically. Then he told that yes basically, because next time basically in future basically, because Microsoft has already told that basically, that this many birth is going to, this many birth basically the one person body basically is going to take. So at least but Microsoft is going to have their life basically up to this level only basically, right? So for that basically they can prepare the system basically. Then he told that yes basically, yeah. For that basically the system is required basically. So one of the person told that yes basically, we are basically prepared, we basically we are going to prepare the system basically for that basically. So one of the person told that yes basically, we are going to prepare the system basically, and according to the system basically everything is going to connect. So just now basically which I told basically, that was actually one of the requirement, and this basically is going to, and mostly basically this might have done also basically. One of the software company told that basically mostly this might have done also, because lots of lockdown has happened, lots of things basically has happened, so 100% basically this might have done also basically. So this basically might have done also basically. So one of the person told that yes basically, this might have done also basically, 100% this might have done basically. So one of the person told that basically yes basically, on the base of this, and here basically the main thing is gender calculation with percentage basically, gender calculation with percentage. Gender calculation with percentage. So in next video basically we are going to see basically a little bit more about this all thing basically. That is how basically the lava sand basically is getting created basically, and how basically the world is created, and how basically on the base of the world basically the crores of planet basically is already created, and how basically the universe group has trusted the earth planet basically, and whether they have trusted basically correctly or basically the wrong people basically they have trusted. In next video basically we are going to see that only basically.